All right, little holly jolliness over here in the Jets Talk household. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas season, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the good stuff. Boys and girls, the New York Jets lose to the Seattle Seahawks 26-21 in a game that was, at the very least, very entertaining. I do think that the Jets were in a better position than they probably should have been throughout the majority of this game. We had a lot of help from a sloppy special teams unit on the Seattle Seahawks side of things. They had, I think it was 3 fumbles in the first half. On special teams. 1 they recovered, 2 bounced back to us. Jets, Rodgers had a return interception. Breece Hall had a fumble. Leonard Williams is dog. Leonard Williams for the Seattle Seahawks absolutely demolished anything resembling a Jets offensive line today. Let me see if I could pull up his stats. I don't know if I'm going to have all of it based on the Google recap here. But Leonard Williams, 3 tackles, 1 assist, 2 sacks, 1 interception, had the return for the touchdown. He was an absolute monster in the backfield today for the Seattle Seahawks. Boys and girls, this stream is powered by BetUS. If you guys want to head over to BetUS, get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. How many games do you think the Jets will win on their schedule the remaining weeks? We got Dolphins up next, then Jaguars, then Rams, then Bills, then Dolphins. I'll tell you right now, based on how we played today, it was a little bit better, I think. Lots of injuries in the secondary, but I think Seattle played down to our level more than we played up to their level. I do think Miami's going to shellac us. The Jaguars game is going to be an interesting one. Jaguars, obviously, right now, if they lose, have the #1 pick. Trevor Lawrence got knocked out of that game with a really vicious hit. How is he going to do in the ensuing weeks? And then you got the Rams, Bills, and then finishing it out with the Dolphins. Lots of stuff to go over. I'm going to go over the press conferences for Jeff Ulbrich and Aaron Rodgers. I have those queued up, so we'll listen to them when they come forward. We'll take a look at the Tankathon rankings, go over the stats and whatnot. But overall, this is officially makes this a losing season for the New York Jets. Jets end today 3-9. We have not had a winning season, I don't think, since I've been covering the team. I don't think we've had a winning season since I've been covering the team. Definitely no playoffs, but I don't know. Maybe 1 winning season? Did we go 9-8 one year? We might have. Either way, the last 6-7 years have been an absolute disappointment. But like I said again, today was, at least for me, kind of entertaining to watch. I didn't feel like I was banging my head against the wall because there's no expectations. When you set your expectations so low, you could step over them with a baby hop. It's, it is what it is. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section and in the live chat. I'll get through your comment questions. Aaron Rodgers finishes the day 21 of 39 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He's basically 50% completion percentage today when the NFL average is 65. That's just not going to be good enough to do that. He did have a few drops, but overall a very underwhelming day. Breece Hall, 12 carries, 60 yards, 5 yards a carry. He did have a very costly fumble for the New York Jets. Davante Adams leads the way in receptions, 5 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson did have 5 receptions. He had 41 yards, no touchdowns. Isaiah Davis did have the other touchdown there. Obviously, we had the special teams kick return by, who am I forgetting off the top of my head? 𝐀𝐟𝐼𝐥𝐢𝐚 Wangwu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Really nice kick return. Lots of excitement from that side of things. The special teams just today in general, the punter for the Seahawks was hurt, so they weren't like really punting on any 4th down. They had no respect for the Jets at the end of that game. They needed a field goal to take the lead, and they were in field goal position on 2 4th downs, and they decided to say, no. We're going to go for it. The Jets can't stop us. You stopped us on the goal line, on the 1-yard line earlier in the game, but you know what? We're going to go for it consistently because we don't respect you. That's what this team says. Overall, I'm not really upset that we lost this game because it does help our Tankathon rankings. Right now, per Tankathon, we are, where is it? Bam. Right now, per Tankathon, see, I screw this up every time I do this. All right. Where's my chart here? Bam. Okay. So right now, the Jets are sitting in the 5th spot, hoping to move up a little bit higher. I do think we're going to finish in that 3rd to 5th spot when all things are said and done. Right now, the Raiders, Giants, and Jags would be in the 1 spot if they do wind up losing this game. We do get to see Jacksonville versus the Titans the next 2 of the next 4 weeks, I believe. 2 of the next the next 5 weeks. Is that right? So that could shift the picks as well. I do think that we are going to wind up with a very, very early pick here for our New York Jets. As far as Seattle goes, they're Geno Smith, 20 of 31. So basically the same completion percentage as Aaron Rodgers. 200 and, oh wait, wasn't? No, not the same. 20 of 31. So that's what, 60%? 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker, top running back, 16 carries, 49 yards. That's 3.1 yards a carry. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 4 receptions, 74 yards. DK Metcalf, 4 receptions, 66 yards. He had 2 looks, I believe, in the first quarter, in the first half, and then he started really coming on in the second half. I thought for the most part, Sauce did a really nice job on him. Even the long catch that he had on, I believe it was 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 20. It was a long, long pass. Sauce was right in his hip pocket. It was just a muscular, freakish catch by DK Metcalf. Sauce did leave with an injury. Reed left with an injury, ultimately came back. Stiggers wound up going in there for a little bit, got beat up by, I shouldn't say got beat up by Metcalf, but got a pass interference call on himself. Overall, I don't know. I'm not going to waste too much time on this particular game. Want to hear your thoughts. Does Rodgers ultimately play next year? We saw some reporting before the game by Ian Rappaport. It's becoming increasingly less likely that Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the New York Jets in 2025. Who knows if that's by way of retirement, by way of him getting cut by the Jets, or what have you. We'll see how it all shakes out. Douglas, coming in. Thank you for the super chat. Says, nothing will keep a kid in college quicker than the risk of getting drafted by the Jets. Right, yeah, at least we can't, if we have the first pick, then the best player in college could at least know, like, all right, I might wind up on the Jets. That's not great. So let's wait and see what happens. I think the Jets are going to pick top 5. I don't think we're going to get either of the top quarterbacks. I don't think we're going to get Travis Hunter. And I don't know where we go. I don't know if the Jets decide to go quarterback. I don't really care where they go. I'm pretty open as far as direction this team wants to go. Admittedly, I've softened my stance on if Rodgers comes back or not next year, because I just don't care. I guess is where it all falls out for me. Logan says, I'm glad we lost. I want a top quarterback. We might even have a chance to get Travis Hunter because the other teams before us will choose quarterback instead. So I do think that the Giants and Raiders are going to take their quarterbacks respectively. I think Vegas ultimately gets Sanders. I think Cam Ward goes to the Giants. Travis Hunter seems destined to the Jaguars, and then it's just a matter, do the Jets crack into that top 3, or do we want the best of the those 3 players? That's sort of where I see this going. Garrett Wilson saying Rodgers can't throw longer than 20 yards. Yeah, it's been a consistent thing all year. He did have the one, Hail Mary, but that's not really much of a play as much as it is like a get up there and throw it. Us letting Leonard Williams go was just as hard as letting Demaryius Davis go. No, Leonard Williams, I think a lot of us realized that we all really liked Leonard, but he was going to want a big contract. We were able to get Quinnen Williams. If Bosa was there, Nick Bosa was there for the Jets at 3, then I think you keep Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams did ultimately wind up helping us get was it Leonard Williams? Did we use that pick to get Sam Darnold? Was that the one? Or did we use that pick from Sheldon Richardson? I know Sheldon Richardson helped us. I don't remember now. God, all my draft picks all these defensive tackles that we've drafted and then have let go for draft picks are all starting to add up. But look, I like Leonard Williams. It sucked that he wound up going to the Giants. That's really the only part. But our D-line has been relatively fine. The guy's just a monster. Aaron Rodgers, retire and help out the quarterback that the Jets could draft. Yeah, maybe he'll retire, and then because he just keeps getting, banged up, and also like less and less fun, maybe he just retires outright. We don't have to see it. Rodgers, we paid you so much. The best you could do for us is just lose us games. It's a terrible mindset to have, but I'm kind of there anyway. Larry says we're a quarterback away. I don't know if we're a quarterback away. I think we got to fix some stuff on the defensive line. I think we're going to have to draft a receiver. McMillan, the receiver from Arizona, is someone I really like in this draft so far early in my process. I don't think we're just a quarterback away, but I think if we had a mobile quarterback that could throw, this is a very, very lethal team. I think this defense is better with a lead, but we're just missing too many pieces consistently here. Old and retired. How many penalties did the Jets commit in the last quarter? At least 4 on the winning drive. Fire all the coaches ASAP. They are so undisciplined. I think they said that we're the most flagged team in the league, and I think we're 30th in terms of yards of penalties per game. So I think we're sitting at 60 yards in penalties per game average, which is just absurd. All right, we've got Ulbrich's presser coming up right.
Coach, clearly, so 2 turnovers, they end up scoring points on, and then the penalties there in the fourth quarter were really critical in this game.
Yeah, we started playing really good complementary football in all 3 phases, and we didn't end the first half the way we needed to and should have, and definitely the second half was not clean football at all by all 3 phases.
Jeff, the offense didn't.
Yeah, we gotta take a hard look at this tape because just the operation, the penalties, a little bit of a lot of different stuff. We gotta make sure we're cleaner there.
How much of a turning point was that zone sequence where Aaron misses Garrett and then throws that pick to Leonard?
Yeah, it's big for sure, but at the same time, like those moments are going to happen in games, and you got to overcome them. You know, like really good teams when adversity hits, and you do something like a self-inflicted wound like that, you respond. You know, and we didn't respond like we need to.
12 men there. It looked like Gibson was back there in the case.
Yeah, I'll take full blame for that. It was they were going for it on 4th down. Initially, like we thought the punt team was coming out, so their punt return unit went out, and then they obviously they decided to go for it on 4th. We got to be better at communicating that across the board. You know, so accustomed to signaling to the guys near the ball, you know. Forget sometimes that return is back there, and that's unacceptable.
Just a quick follow on that. That entire series with the penalties, and have you been a part of something like that? And how do you explain all of that taking place in one set, series?
Yeah, I got to look at every single one of those penalties and see exactly if they're real, if they're not real, what caused them, and it's not okay. It's not acceptable. It's not our standard. Penalties ultimately extend drives, and we can't let that happen.
Jeff, you guys had this season the offense, 5 opportunities with Rodgers on the field, go down the field, get points, win the game. You're 0-5 in those games. Why does it keep happening? Why have you guys not been able to finish those?
We got to figure that out. We got to figure it out quickly because it's never on one person. It isn't. It's on the entire collective group. From coaches to players to every single human being out there on offense. So we got to be better in those moments.
At 3-9, just kind of where do you go from here?
You keep pushing. We don't have a whole lot of options other than we're going to keep working. We're going to stay together. We're going to play the best football humanly possible by this group, and we're going to try to celebrate this team as best we can.
How would you assess Rodgers' performance today?
I always want to go back and really watch the tape, and I got to watch the tape with Todd because a lot of times he'll give me all the nuance and the intricacies within the game plan and the footwork and the timing and all that. So that'll be a better question for tomorrow.
How many body blows can this team take, Jeff? It just feels like week after week you guys are getting hit with stuff.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a true test of every man in that locker room and every coach in that locker room. So we got to respond. It's our only choice.
This was the week. I know Aaron was looking forward to it. He was off the injury report. He was healthy. You said he was the healthiest he's been in quite some time, and statistically didn't do well at all. Had some trouble with his accuracy. The pick 6. Would you ever consider making a change at that position now?
Not as of today.
The end of the first half, they have the ball down around the 15-yard line. They complete a short pass and 2nd down. Did you think about taking a timeout?
In the first half there?
In the first half,
yeah. What stopped me was it was 3rd and 4, and this is one of the better 3rd and 2 to 6 teams in the league. It's a high percentage play. They've converted that on most people most of the time. So I just we wanted to get out of the half and try to inhibit them from getting a score there, and obviously. In hindsight, it might not have been the best thing to do.
What do you think of the way the defense played overall?
We had moments where we really played our brand of football to our standard, and there was moments that we did not, and that's kind of been the common tale of the season. And if you want to be a championship team, if you want to be a winning team, you got to be consistent. I think the strain is right. I think the physicality is right. It's the execution piece, and we've got to clean it up because in critical moments we've had breakdowns that don't allow you to win games like that.
Couple more. Do you have injury updates?
The two that I have is left, did not return, and then Sauce with the hamstring, same as. Fortunately, the DBs, as many guys that went down there, especially down the stretch, all cramping and all stuff. As of right now, it doesn't seem serious.
By special teams, specifically 𝐂𝐚.
Just like what an amazing story. 𝐂𝐚 was a guy that for weeks now we've been spotlighting and showing the team just his process and how hard he's worked. He earned the right to play today, and all that hard work came to fruition. It was a really amazing moment for not just him, for the team, because the team is really invested in that human being, and special teams did their part in some ways, for sure.
Are there any immediate changes that you want to make before Miami?
Not right now. Thank you.
All right, so that was Jeff Ulbrich taking a hard look at that press conference. Not a very serious press conference, in my opinion. The whole, I got to go back and look and see if those penalties were real or not real or whatever. Dude, you had 12 penalties for 83 yards coming off a bye. This has been one of the most penalized teams, the most penalized team in the NFL the entirety of this season. This is not a fluke. This is a trend. He said he's not considering a quarterback change at this time, which, as of today, I think is what was the terminology. Not considering a quarterback change as of today. So maybe that changes. Maybe Aaron Rodgers, if he is hurt, decides to go on IR and just kind of finish out his season. I personally want to see Rodgers play the rest of the year. One, because if he does look pretty decent, then I don't mind him being a bridge quarterback for next year necessarily. But I also feel like that gives us the best chance to get a top pick, unless they're going to skip over Tyrod Taylor to go to Adrian Martinez. I think if Tyrod plays, I think he does give us the best chance to win on a week-in, win-out basis. You just know what you have in the guy, unfortunately. So we're going to take a hard look at this super chat from Brian Morales. Thank you so much, dude. Says, Ryan, what do I do with my Rodgers legacy jersey? I want to burn it at this point. The Jets don't deserve my love and loyalty. I will never jump ship, but I'm taking a break from this team. Brian, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Today, we were setting up our Christmas decorations. My wife and her sisters were doing some cricket projects in the other room. I'm doing some stuff on my tablet while I'm watching the game. I'm not getting overly invested one way or the other. I do obviously, love this team, and I want to see how they can improve week in and week out, but I'm not going to allow this team to rain on my parade the way I have in years past. So I don't blame you. If you want to put it down, come back next season. I totally understand. Would love to have you back. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Brian. Good dude. Love me some Brian. Gotta get me some barbecue soon. Tony, what's up, Tony? Says Carter Warren and Vera Tucker were god awful. Shake my head. Yeah, our offensive line was not very good today. I felt like even John Simpson got blown up by Leonard Williams a few times. Not good. Not good. You don't want to have Carter Warren in at tackle. But if it helps secure the tank, I don't care. Aaron Rodgers can be the hit sponge that you need for this season. And then hopefully you just get a good pick for next year. I got Aaron Rodgers' press conference coming up as soon as that starts to go live. We'll listen to that. We'll wrap it up. Not going to make this a crazy long post game for you guys, but I do want to get to some of the questions in the chat. So let's go through this. Beefy says, folks keep saying the offensive line is great. I don't see it pocket collapse at the end of the game again. Yeah, I don't see the offensive line being great. I would say it's better than in years past, but in years past it was really, really Swiss cheese. I think if you had a mobile quarterback, it probably negates a lot of the issues that we see on a consistent basis. Rodgers was moving around a little bit better this time than in the weeks prior. There was one play where he ran all the way to his left, then came all the way back to the middle of the field, and then wound up throwing the ball a little bit short, but I thought that mobility was at least kind of impressive. John B says, Woody, please sell the team. Word has it that a few of our subscribers, my buddy Jacob, of course, that does the Every Throw video for me, he's going down to the Miami game with a sell the team chant queued up. If we hear a sell the team chant in an away stadium for the Jets, that'll be just so wonderful. Unfortunately, Woody will not sell the team because he's been failing upwards. His valuation went from like $1 billion when he bought the team, or $600,000, whatever the amount was when he bought it. It's like $5 to $7 billion now, which is bonkers to think you could be this bad for this long and still have a net worth go wildly higher from a subpar standard. All right, we got Rodgers presser coming up.
Aaron, what was the difference today?
Oh, there are a lot of things, but I think the two-play stretch where Miss Garrett opened to go up 28-7, threw a pick six, kind of changed the momentum of the game.
How much do you think the penalties impacted the game? The penalties?
A lot.
Yeah, definitely a lot.
What happened on that one to Garrett that you missed in the end zone?
I tried to throw it about 5 inside. Wind was a little inconsistent, and maybe I should have thrown a little flatter because it was wide open. But yeah, should. I mean, I got to hit that. It doesn't matter. Windy, I played in wind before. It was inconsistent, but I got to hit that.
On the pick six, they had dropped Leonard.
I couldn't see him. He was like kind of right behind the right guard. I couldn't see him.
What little things was the offense?
No, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we ran the ball pretty well. There were a lot of holes all day. Wind made it a little difficult throwing it, but we had some chances.
At 3-9, just kind of what's your mindset right now?
Yeah, it's disappointed. I mean, what else can you say? We've had a lot of chances in these situations. A lot of these games come down to one play, and whether you make it or miss it, and sometimes that play happens in the second quarter. You make that play, 28-7, different ball game.
What do you hope to work on before Miami?
Oh, shit, I don't know. I don't know. We just got to look at the film, be honest about it, critique ourselves, and move on.
You've had some situations this year like this fourth quarter fall in your hand, a chance to win, and it just hasn't happened. And obviously you've done that a lot in your career. Are you kind of searching for answers about why it's not happening in the fourth quarter?
It's a lot of things, I would say, combined.
Is that the most frustrating aspect of this year to this point, Aaron, is that the ball has been in the offense's hands with a chance to end the game and you haven't?
I mean, it's not the most frustrating thing. There's a lot of frustrating things. That's definitely one of them.
Why can't this team finish?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think, again, games are often won in the first, second, third quarter. Fourth quarter, it's an important time of the game, but it's plays in the second quarter cost us this game. Then it comes to fourth quarter, it's execution, it's strain, it's the little things, it's accuracy, and we just a lot to go around. Myself included, first and foremost.
Did Seattle change anything they were doing from the success you guys had those first couple series?
They stopped pressing us so much, for sure. They tried to press us early in the game. We ran by them, just missed some throws, hit a couple throws. They played a little bit less of that.
Would you have liked, at the end of the first half, you guys still had 3 timeouts. Would you have liked to have seen some timeouts there to try to squeeze maybe a long field goal?
Yeah, I mean, we got the ball with, I think, 6 seconds left. So there's not a lot of options there. Just trying to get some positioning for a Hail Mary.
How much do you think team take, Aaron? I mean, you guys are taking body blow after body blow week after week.
Yeah, I mean, this was, as frustrating as it comes because, we start off fast. 𝐀𝐿 has 2 incredible plays. We're up 21-7, and they fumble the next kick. And then, second half, there were obviously some calls that didn't go our way and a lot of chances to win. Just happens too many times this season.
How did you come through the game physically?
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, I was moving around well. Felt like, it was as good as I felt all season, moving around and extended plays. And, came out fine.
You say it's as good as you felt all season. Why do you think statistically and the plays aren't, like the health is now there, but maybe the numbers aren't what you'd expect it to be?
Well, there's 11 guys on the field, Sometimes it's my fault, Definitely multiple times today. And then sometimes the details aren't there in some other spots too.
The formation penalty with 17-5 got penalized. What happened there?
I had no idea what was going on over there. I'm not sure. I saw that Tay was set. I actually didn't send Malachi, but felt like his motion was going to be fine. I think he was motioning on the left side, so I didn't see what happened.
A lot of this is all new to you, and I'm not saying it's you, but do you ever think about that? Maybe you won't be finishing the season on the field, that maybe Jeff or somebody else might be saying, let's make a quarterback change?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll figure it out when we have those conversations. But
Has that ever been a situation you? So I don't know if it was.
Well, I mean, I felt like in 18 there was a possibility for sure. In 05 when I was backup, we were, 3 and a lot multiple times, and didn't make a change. Didn't make a change in 18 either. But yeah, I'll have a conversation with Brick if that's what he's thinking.
If you're healthy, do you want to keep playing?
Yeah.
What if he said to you, I'm just throwing tomorrow out, but like tomorrow maybe we're going to make a change? I mean, how would you respond to that?
It's hypothetical. I'll tell you after the fact if that happens.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thought some pretty good pressing questions that they posed to him, especially regarding the potential benching at some point coming in the future. Ulbrich said, obviously not considering quarterback change as of today, but could happen in the future here. Now that they're officially mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, this does start to bring into question, do you want to see other players come out? I don't think I want to see that, because I do think there are a lot of fans that ultimately bought tickets that wanted to see Rodgers play, even though the season is not what it is, and maybe you can get some excitement or something like that. I think there's something you might owe to those fans. I guess you owe it to the rest of the players to play the best quarterback possible, but I'm full team tank right now. Boys and girls, the Jets, as of recording, own the 5th pick. Jaguars did lose today's game, but the Jets are creeping up quick. So right now, the top teams in terms of strength of schedule, from what it comes down to, so you'll see this column right here. The Jags are at a 0.495. The Patriots are the best 3-win team to have a shot at the first pick with a 0.455, and then the Jets closely behind with the 0.500. We actually leapfrogged the Titans this past on Thanksgiving due to the strength of schedule mathematics that worked into it. So the Jets currently sitting in that 5th pick with not too many games remaining here. Boys and girls, if you have not heard, you get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 over at BetUS when you use code YouTube 150. Jets remaining games: Dolphins, Jaguars, Rams, Bills, Dolphins. 5 games left. How many do you think we win? I think 1. I think we go 1-4 the rest of the way out. That gives us 4 wins. And probably the 5th pick? I don't know. It's going to be tough. I don't want to wind up with like the 10th pick. That's kind of where I'm at this point. But guys, I want to hear from you. Where do you think the Jets ultimately wind up from a draft pick perspective? Just Win Jets coming in here at the end says, we can't only blame Rodgers. This O-line is awful. I think it's a combination of both things. I think when you're also not very competitive, everyone starts to lose a little bit of their edge. I thought Quincy played well today. I thought Will McDonald got 10 sacks. Like, there's going to be positive things that I think we can take away from this game and this season, but very, very disappointing overall. Boys and girls, Jets are 3-9 right now. Locked in a losing season again. Want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
One, two, three.